Good evening. I think we are live now. Welcome to another chat session about this, that, and the other thing coming to you live from spooky downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. It's cold, it's raining and windy, and it'll turn into snow by morning, I think. Wow. We had a safe Halloween here in the mountains with designated neighborhoods where trick or treaters could get treats. On a special day, I think it was Saturday, the merchants in town all gave out treats to the children. We had Santa show up at several places, um, events at our local history museum and our San Moritz Lodge at Lake Gregory. And most of the shops in town have been decorated for the season. And they'll change out the pumpkins and such for Santa and Christmas pretty soon, probably after Thanksgiving. We are not like department stores that deck out for Christmas in October. It's been wonderful. It it's cold though. I think I have all the hatches battened down. I think it's safe to just sit in the house and have some hot cocoa and wrap up in a warm blanket, and a warm cat will sit on me, I'm sure. It'll be wonderful. Let me get up and fix something right now. Ah, it's too warm in here. Kick down the heater. And mess with the ceiling fan to spread the temperature evenly throughout my tiny house. I hope you guys can join me now that I actually have a decent internet connection, at least for tonight. It's been just hectic getting everything ready because I knew winter was coming early here. It is still autumn until December 21, and this is November 1st. So we have a good 6 or 7 weeks of autumn in which it's going to snow. The good thing is that means we are not likely to have any forest fires. Today, day after Halloween, is Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, when you honor your ancestors who are no longer living. Or All Saints' Day. Halloween is All Hallows' Eve, the evening of the holy. The next day, November 1st, is All Saints' Day, or the Day of the Dead, depending upon which one you celebrate. I had to do some last minute things like put my tools away so they won't get rained and snowed on, and close up the shed that I keep open to keep out the rain and snow. but I'm feeling good. And I'm hoping my usual chat partners can join me. A couple weeks in a row, I've had terrible internet connection and had to give up. But tonight, everything's working. So where is everybody? I bet you're out celebrating, doing karaoke and, I don't know, out to dinner somewhere or dancing or seeing a movie or a play or a concert. I'm just sitting at home. I stocked up on groceries last week, but I seem to be short on cat supplies, especially for the litter box. So in the morning, our local grocery store will be delivering cat litter and cat treats. I love them for offering delivery. It's totally worth it. Let's see. I have no one in chat and no one listening. Let's see, participants. Yeah, just me. Unless YouTube is lying. Well, let's see. What else is happening in the world? What can I talk about? It seems that PayPal is going to issue fines to people who spread disinformation. In other words, take money from their accounts. I don't know what is disinformation at this point. I have no clue. I mean, I try to just discuss what I saw or heard on the news or what I read in the newspaper or a magazine. I do have opinions, but I don't see how an opinion can be disinformation. It's just an opinion, not a fact. But there's so much going on. I pray for Paul Pelosi. It's horrible what happened to him. It shouldn't happen to anybody. Being attacked by some crazy maniac like that at his home. The news about it is kind of confusing, but I won't go into that. The main thing is the man's in the hospital with severe injuries, and that's just plain wrong. Um, I don't know. President Biden said the pandemic is over, but the CDC and the WHO and all those agencies say it is not over. I don't know. We might have a really rough flu season this year. It's always good to take precautions and not spread any kind of disease. You know, if you have symptoms, it's probably best to stay home. And if it's serious, see a doctor. That's always wise. Even if you just have a common cold. Better safe than sorry. And people are still getting COVID. It isn't like completely gone. That's been the goal for the past 2 years, but we haven't reached it. What else is there in the news? Oh, we have elections coming up, midterms on November 8th. Many people have voted early. Some races are in what they call a dead heat. Their percentages are so close, we don't know who's going to win. But it does appear that some incumbents are going to get voted out and replaced with new people. I guess that's a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. But I'm scared to talk about it because I have a PayPal account. I don't know what is disinformation. Here in California, we have a bunch of propositions on the ballot, as well as some candidates. I'm still reading the booklet that they sent me with my mail-in ballot because I'm old and disabled, so it's hard for me to vote in person. It's darn near impossible, in fact. My broken back isn't really healed yet. Probably will never be the same. And standing in line is really painful. Sitting in a chair is painful. I'm okay in Great Granny's rocking chair with a bunch of pillows. Sitting on one pillow, another pillow for my back. But this is limited. I mean, I can't sit here all that long. Anyway, see, it's a rocking chair. Ah, wow. Yeah, sorry for the dim background, but I kind of like it. It's spooky. Our local theater group is doing a production of Dracula. They're really good. I saw them do Dracula a few years ago. I haven't gone this year because, well, I can't sit for very long in the chairs they have. I would be miserable and I'd be bending over with my head between my knees to try to get my back to quit screaming at me. But when I did see it, they were excellent. And Dracula, of course, is fitting for this time of year. It's awesome to have a community like this where arts and culture are everywhere. We have so many musicians and singers and artists and actors too. And they have day jobs, of course. Some are working in restaurants, others are working at other jobs. They might sell insurance or real estate, or they might have a little retail shop. Most of our shops are small, privately owned little shops. We do have a 7-Eleven and a McDonald's. The rest is mom and pop. Which is cool. It's really nice. Even our grocery store is family owned. They do have 2 locations. And if we want to go 5 or 6 miles, we can go to a Stater Brothers. And when I'm doing surveys, what market do you shop at? It never lists Stater Brothers. So I have to find out, are they maybe part of Kroger or something? I don't know. But I like Goodwin's. Their prices are a little higher, but they have um, really um, curated their stock to fit the community, to get what people want. And during the weird shortages, they managed to get us toilet paper and coffee. It wasn't always the brand we wanted, but they had it. Right now, there's weird shortages, like some kinds of cookies, and for several weeks, they couldn't get candy corn, but they did have it for Halloween. Darn thing went out. And last time I was there, they were nearly out of treats for my cats. You know, Temptation, some party mix. I was able to get a few, but well, my cats are greedy guts. Today I fed them a can of Friskies, and they don't want it. They want Fancy Feast. Well, sometimes they have to settle for Friskies. That's what I've got. Tora stole my recliner chair. Earlier, she was in my rocking chair. I have the heating pad on the rocking chair, but I have the electric blanket on the recliner chair. It isn't plugged in yet. It isn't quite that cold, but it will be by morning. And I'll just cuddle up with my cat and sleep in the recliner chair tonight. I have to be elevated when I sleep, or I stop breathing. And if I, just pile things up on the bed, I always end up flat on my back, and then I wake up because I've stopped breathing. So I just sleep on the recliner, which never goes completely flat. Even if I sleep on my side, I'll wake up on my back. So anyway, I'm glad to be here online finally. After 2 weeks of terrible internet problems. Don't you just love Verizon? Our other options, unfortunately, use Verizon towers anyway. We get a stronger signal off cable when it's working, but when things get rough, they're the first to go down entirely and the last to come back up. So I guess I'm stuck with Verizon Wireless for now. We don't get Verizon Fios. It's the fiber internet, but I got an ad here that the Frontier cable company is putting in fiber internet. In fact, I've met some of their workers who are putting it in, because they were installing fiber internet on my street. And my house is the only one with a really big driveway where they can pull over and park sideways the way they like to do with those big trucks. And then they're not blocking traffic on the street. Our streets are narrow. Anyway, last week, I forget which day it was, might have been Wednesday or Thursday, I had an attempted burglary. My outside lights were not on because we had had a power outage. I think that was Sunday night, might have been Monday night. Anyway, when that happens, it turns off the timer on my outdoor lights, and I had forgotten to reset it. So it was dark outside, and I had my lights off so I could watch a movie on the computer. And so someone must have thought that nobody was home. They came in through my gate and came to my door, and I was awake, so I got up and started turning on lights. But before I even got to the first light switch, my cat had charged the door and rammed it. The guy must have thought it was a dog because he took off and left my gate open. So now I lock my gate at night, and I have the lights, the outdoor lights. Yeah, working. Had to check. There's one window where I can see that the light is on. But I'm being a little more careful about everything now. That was spooky. Never had that happen, at least not while I was home. The only burglaries I ever had before were when my granddaughter came in while I wasn't home and ate all the cookies. One year she ate all the Girl Scout cookies, and I couldn't buy any more for a whole year. That was, I didn't mind so much when she ate all the Oreos. Well, I don't eat a lot of sweets now. My tastes have changed. Even my favorite, really good Pepperidge Farm. No, there's too much glare. The orange chocolate Milanos. You can kind of see it there. Here. I've had this open for a week, and in a week I've eaten 3 or 4 of them. Well, hi, Witta. Good to see you in chat. Yeah, I like the raspberry Milanos too. Raspberry chocolate. But the orange were the first ones I knew about. Anyway, I don't think I'll have any more attempted burglaries now that the outdoor lights are working and the gate is padlocked. But the guy must have thought nobody was home because it was so dark with the lights off on the inside too. But I was watching a movie. He should have heard voices. I think I was watching a detective thing. like Poirot or Nero Wolf. Oh, and I know that the Nero Wolf TV series, the one with, what's his name? Oh, come on. Come on, brain. I've Timothy Hutton and Maury Chaykin and Colin Fox. I know that's a good show because I can watch the same episodes over and over and not get tired of them and not get bored. There's always something new that I didn't notice before. It's really well done. They have an ensemble cast, the same actors, some always playing the same role, like Nero Wolfe and Archie Goodwin, but some play different roles. Someone who's the victim this time might be the murderer next time. One who has a prominent role this time might have a really small role next time, or no role at all. Really talented actors, well written scripts, good production value. I wish it had lasted longer. Apparently, it had only one season, maybe two if they were short seasons. I, I didn't discover that show until after it was all over. So, I was robbed. And Poirot with David Suchet is amazing. I like his Murder on the Orient Express a lot better than what's his name's. What was that guy's name? Albert Finney. Didn't like his Poirot. He's a great actor, but not in that role. Hercule Poirot is supposed to be a bit of a dandy, not a hard-edged detective. Well, hi, Grandma. If you are saying what I think you are, you're in trouble. Let's see. Let's see. Now, what am I going to do? There we go. Goodbye. Okay. Oh, that's my very first troll. Isn't that amazing? All gone. Did it all by myself because I don't have any wrenches this evening. Rita says I've gotten big enough to attract a troll. I've had some that I wondered about, but they were just joking around. But really, that was unnecessary. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Really? Oh, YouTube has allowed us to choose our display names, and that is encouraging trollism. Let's see what I can do. I don't see. I don't see. There we go. Hey, this is irritating. Sorry for the silence. I don't see it. When I go to participants, there's nothing I can do to them. I don't know. It's interesting though. I wish were not so afraid to speak my mind about topics, but it isn't just YouTube now. It's PayPal has decided that if PayPal users put out disinformation anywhere on the internet, anywhere, social media, whatever, they're going to issue fines and take your money out of your PayPal account. Well, I don't know what is disinformation and what is not. I can't talk about health or politics or I don't know. Now, I don't have much in PayPal, but they require that you connect it to your bank account. And all I have is my Social Security and some generous donations here and there. And like I can't afford to lose $10 right now. Oh, hi, Oswald. Good to see you. I've got winter heating bills coming sooner than usual. Yeah, Halloween was actually quite calm and peaceful here. Most of the children went to the advertised neighborhoods, mostly advertised on Facebook, that come to our street and trick or treat. Because many people up here just don't hand out candy, but our merchants do. Not on Halloween necessarily, but usually on the closest Saturday and during the day before it gets too dark. I do need a wrench, Oswald. Someone has been posting, they think it's cute to post one letter at a time, and when you're reading up and down, it makes a bad word. How many minutes in 300 seconds? I don't want to do it in my head. Here, I have a calculator. Come on. 300. 300 divided by 60 equals, 5 minutes. That's something. Yeah, I've looked at participants, Witta, and it shows this person, but they're timed out and hidden, but they keep coming back with a slightly different name. I haven't been in Bosley's chat recently, Oswald. Um, when he comes on, I'm usually either busy cooking a meal or busy eating it, so I just listen without chatting. But maybe they're from someone else's chat room. I don't know. Anyway, this troll first wrote one letter at a time, so you read it up and down, wrote the N word, and then the C word, and then the N word again. I won't have that in my chat. That is not allowed. I know some channels do a lot of cussing while they're talking, and it doesn't really bother me, but the N word and the C word are both hate speech, as well as being offensive. Oh dear. I don't know if I'm very entertaining or informative tonight. My water and coffee are both empty. Ah, the horror. Let me get some water. It won't take but a minute. Dum de dum. Dum de dum de dum. Dum de dum. Dum de dum de dum. Oh. Okay, I think I'm back. Ah. Okay. Oh, Oswald had a non eventful Halloween. Good. I'll say it again. Last week I had an attempted burglary. I had forgotten to reset the timer on my outdoor lights. We had had a power outage that turned off my timer. And I had all the lights off in the house so I could watch a movie on the computer. And I heard my gate open and someone came to the door, but my cat was way ahead of me. While I was headed toward a light switch, the cat, Tora, charged the door and slammed into it. And the guy took off, left my gate open. Didn't get in, of course. He must have thought I had a dog the way Tora hit that door. Little did he know I have a self-defense fire extinguisher. That's better than pepper spray, and it makes it easy to identify the criminal. Anyway, I've since put a padlock on my gate and reset the timer so my outdoor lights come on. And I'm leaving my indoor lights on later. The guy must have thought nobody was home. Oh no. Oswald says someone in town messed with Halloween candy trying to hurt children. That's awful. Yeah, I have a guard cat, Witta. I wouldn't mess with her either. One time she learned about my rocking chair. I rocked forward and she had a paw under it. I guess it must have been her tail or a hind foot because she clawed the heck out of me when my rocking chair pinched her. I jumped up and she was still hanging on my leg. Well, most of the trick-or-treating in this town was at the merchants. Most of our shops are mom and pop, and they always have treats for the kids on the Saturday closest to Halloween. And they do it while it's still light out, so it's a lot safer. Yeah, evil times. I don't know how it is now, but when I was a kid, some people gave out apples, some gave out candy apples, some gave out popcorn. This was before baggies, so Mom did that one year, and we'd unfold a napkin, or if you're in England, I think it's a serviette. Anyway, put in the popcorn and bring up the corners of the napkin and tie it with ribbon and hand out popcorn. And that was cool. Now, people would not trust anything homemade like that, like a candy apple or a bag of popcorn. It's too bad. Anyway, I did have some, bite-sized Three Musketeers and Milky Ways in case there were trick-or-treaters, but I didn't get any. We had events at the local history museum and at the local San Moritz Lodge next to Lake Gregory and so forth. Oh, the wind is picking up. It's raining, and by morning it should be turning into snow. Already, winter is early this year, 6 weeks early. I kind of like winter, kind of, as long as I don't have to go anywhere. And although I did stock up, I didn't get cat litter. It's really too heavy. So I'm having the local grocery store deliver it in the morning. They will get here. There's no hills and no real curves to worry about between the store and my house. And they probably won't need chains anyway because it's down the main road, which is plowed. And they're pretty good about plowing this street because so many people use it as an alternate route. I'm so glad my internet is holding up. Good old Verizon. I was a little late tonight, by the way. I had planned to come on at 8 in the evening. I decided that was my new time, but I was watching a local Zoom meeting of various local agencies, the highway patrol, the sheriffs, the schools, the management of the lake. It's a man-made lake, and it's actually a county park with a management company taking care of things like parking and the beach and fishing and boating on the lake. In the warm months, it's stocked with trout. It's really cool. Of course, I don't like trout, so I'm not going to go fishing. I like seafood. I like the fish that come out of the ocean. But freshwater fish just don't do it for me. Anyway, I had my one adventure with a burglar, first time since my granddaughter used to break in and eat all the cookies. Wow, she's 30 years old now. And I'm a great granny. She had a baby a couple weeks ago. Oh, it's more than a month now. I think it was September 26th. We're far apart. So I just got the news in a text message from my son with a photo of the newborn baby. Thanks, Witta. She said congratulations and a smiley face. Oh, wow. I'm too young to be a great granny. I'm only 68 for crying out loud, and people don't believe I'm that old. My hair is not as gray as it looks on the computer, but it's getting there. It's more yellow than gray, I guess. Not too long ago it was more brown than gray, but I was a redhead. I had auburn hair. And lots of it. It's really thinned out, but not as much as people who start with less hair. See? Not that gray. Oh well. Anyway, it's been really something living in these interesting times. Were there any wild? Oh, Oswald wants to know, were there any wild San Bernardino School Board live streams? Well, I don't watch the school board, uh, even though they are on Zoom. Uh, we're pretty level headed, most of us, regardless of political or religious beliefs. We tend to be really mellow and sensible. Some parents did hold a mask protest, but when the school board pointed out that they had no choice, it was a state mandate, they cooled off. Oh, hi, Jason. In the chat, good to see you. I think maybe reporting the troll has worked. I reported both troll names. I didn't think YouTube was working this late at night, but maybe they're in some other time zone. Anyway, no, this public meeting was what we call a MAC meeting, Municipal Advisory Council. Most of the communities up here on the mountain are not cities. They're not incorporated. They're just unincorporated communities in San Bernardino County. Oh, cool, Jason. When you have an address for me, I can send you a book. Not sure which one I still have. Oh, Phoenix isn't too bad this time of year. I bet you can finally get cold water from the tap in your house. I spent a few days in, I think it was actually Scottsdale, but Scottsdale and Phoenix are just one big urban area in June. And no matter how long you ran the cold water, it never came out anything but just the right temperature to take a hot shower. If you wanted a drink of water, you had to get it from the refrigerator. Oh, I'm so glad you've got a place, Jason. That's awesome. Anyway, it's just so nice to be back, to have the internet working this evening and to have you guys in chat. I'm going to try to do more short recorded things when I have something to say. But apparently, I have a very, very important attack cat. She won't let anybody mess with me because she owns me. Of course, Sweetie didn't even notice. My little feral kitty. She's getting more and more calm around me, but she didn't seem to notice that someone was trying to break into the house. So I'll be sure to keep the gate padlocked at night and to make sure that the outdoor lights are working. Let's see. Yep, they're on. And it won't cost me too much money because I got one of those LED light bulbs. It's very bright, but it doesn't use much power. Let's see. Somebody messaged me. Nah, I'll play Words with Friends later. Anyway, it still seems kind of spooky tonight because it's so quiet. I have noisy neighbors. Where are they? I'm used to having to turn up the volume on my computer because their loud music comes right into my house, even with all the doors and windows shut. And of course, we have the usual raccoons, coyotes. Even they are quiet. Must be the weather. Even the weather is quiet right now. The wind has died back or died down. I don't think it's raining, unless it has turned to snow already. Snow generally doesn't make sound when it falls. Usually. Sometimes we get this stuff called graupel. It's kind of like little bits of styrofoam, but it's snow. About the size of a small hailstone, but light and fluffy. It even feels dry when you touch it, but it's cold. Let's see, graupel. 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 Gosh. We have other words for snow, like if it's raining and snowing at the same time, it's row, rain, snow. If it's raining and hailing, it's rail. If it's snowing and hailing, it's snail. We have fun with those made up words. I've been on for an hour. I got eye itchies. Anyway, I'm really glad you guys could come by and join me for a while. I just don't know what to talk about because this crusade against disinformation has me puzzled. Oh, hi, Angus. It's snailing where you are? Angus? Oh, I thought it said Ovid. It says Orvid. Must be a Scotsman. I'm scared to talk about anything that might be disinformation, even if I saw it on the news. I do want to say again that I'm praying for Mr. Pelosi to recover. That should not happen to anybody, regardless of politics, religion, or whatever. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm not a Republican either. I'm no party affiliation. Well, I figure if someone's spouting a bunch of stuff that isn't true, most people are smart enough to understand that, to know that it's garbage. Um, yeah, that's the big thing. I have a PayPal account. PayPal originally said that their um, thing about finding people for disinfo on any social media was a mistake, but it's back in their user, I don't know, agreement. It's back. Uh, Oswald wants to post a sexist joke. Is it dirty or clean? Okay, but I might not read it. And I don't let the live chat replay, so let's. I don't know what STEM is. It's all capitals. Oh, I get it. That's cute. But I'm not going to read it aloud. I'll just type LOL. Oh, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's right. I should have remembered that. But when I see STEM, I think of stem cells. Anyway, I have done deep diving into what to do about my problem with severe weight loss and inability to digest certain foods because I'm not getting help from the so called experts. I could not believe this nutritionist. I understand that she might have a point in recommending that I cut out wheat and cow's milk, even though I have no trouble digesting wheat and cow's milk. But when she insisted that my chicken livers had to come from organic chickens, no. I can't buy all my groceries at Trader Joe's. It's too expensive. And there's no other place where you're going to find livers from organic chickens. I'll bet Trader Joe's doesn't have them. Foster Farms is good enough, but Tyson is not, at least not for me. Is that disinformation? I won't eat Tyson chicken. I know too much about them. I don't know whether PayPal really has that fine if they still claim they didn't, but I heard someone I thought was a trusted source saying that he has a PayPal account and it's back in there. I'm not taking a chance. I can't afford to lose $10 right now, let alone a $2,500 fine. Oh dear. Oswald has been upset at obnoxious promotional campaigns about women can study science too. Yeah, I find that offensive. Of course, women can study science. Shoot, I studied pre med for 3 years, and that was back in the dark ages, the 1970s, when women who wanted to be veterinarians had to study in Scotland or um, that island in the Caribbean. I forgot which one. Maybe it was Jamaica. Because the only two veterinary universities in the United States, Berkeley and Phoenix, I think it was Phoenix, it was in Arizona, would not accept women. They never accepted women as students. I find it offensive to suggest that women need special consideration to study science and math and engineering and technology. Before things went in a totally different direction, I was studying computer programming, and not only that, I was doing a course where you build your own computer from parts. But the devices they have now, you can't even add more memory. Used to be you buy the darn thing and plug it in. Not anymore. It's sealed, and if you want anything done to it, you have to take it to the manufacturer's official repair shop where they sell them, and they'll try to just sell you a new one to replace it because it's cheaper than getting it fixed. Let's see. Angus says his sister is a doctor. She was always better at math and science than me. I'm good with computers, but don't get biology and high math. Well, Angus, the thing about biology and higher math is you don't understand it. You just memorize it. So what you need is a good memory. Yeah, Apple doesn't let you repair your own devices, and there have been lawsuits about right to repair. I'm not sure who Louis Rossmann is. But really, there's all kinds of gadgets now that you're just not allowed to repair. It voids the warranty if you for example, have someone put a new screen on your cell phone because you cracked it. Oh, he has a show on YouTube about repairing computers. Cool. And an activist for right to repair. Well, I might watch his show. Why not? It's either Louis or Louis, Louis, Rossmann, with two S's. I'll look into that. Anyway, I'm actually happy to have Google, or well, it's the cloud now. It must be Google. because I absolutely smashed my cell phone. The screen was not just cracked, it landed face down on asphalt, and the little rocks in the asphalt made, those spider web like cracks and little holes in the screen. So when I went ahead and got a new phone, I'll be paying $20 a month for 3 years. Anyway, in order to activate the new phone, I had to do stuff on the old phone. Well, the old phone was a brick. Could not do anything, couldn't make a phone call, couldn't take a phone call, couldn't get messages, couldn't do nothing. But the new phone got activated through the the Google Cloud. I think it's Google, or maybe it's Microsoft. Um, anyway, so like the cloud put in the settings that were required to activate the new cell phone. Oh, and this time I was so tired of Samsung being so clunky. I got a Motorola, and I'm having some problems with the Motorola phone, but in many ways it's better than Samsung. What I don't like, and I haven't figured out how to turn it off, when I restart the phone, you want to do that once in a while. Don't just shut it down and then turn it back on, but actually use the restart button. It runs a little program that looks for errors that it can fix for you. Well, or if I shut it down and turn it back on, either way, when it's turning itself back on, this voice says, "Hello, Moto." I'm like, what the first time I couldn't figure out where the voice was coming from. I don't like that. Just turn the phone on and light it up. Oh, Lord. But there's a couple little things that I think should be different. Ah, almost lit the filter. For example, I haven't figured out how to check how much data I have used. It's important for me to know how much of the mobile hotspot I have left. It's only 15 gigs, which isn't a whole lot. I can use that up in 2 or 3 days. And when that's gone, I'm on data, which is a very slow connection. Okay, since I've got all you peoples here, I will stay online, but I've got to recycle some coffee, so hang on and I'll be back. Dum de dum, dum de dum de dum, dum de dum. dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Someone told me I'm doing the wrong Dragnet theme. That the one I'm doing is from the cartoon or from Get Smart. I'll have to go on YouTube and listen to an episode of Dragnet to see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, I am back. It's cold now. It's time to crank up the heater again. It's on a thermostat, but it's kind of glitty. Yep, just wiggle it a bit and the heater comes on. That's better. Oh, the nude bomb, 1980. I probably saw that, but I don't really remember it. Yeah, Dragnet. Well, there wasn't any Get Smart when Dragnet was on TV. Of course, now you can watch anything on YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime, or I guess there's other places. But back then, the Dragnet movie with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, yeah, that was dumb. There was a better Dragnet movie. I can't remember who was in it. But the TV show, back then, if you were not in front of your TV at 8 o'clock on whatever night, I think it was Friday night, to watch it, you just didn't get to see it. Unless maybe there were some reruns after the end of the season. $1987, yeah. Oh, I don't think Aykroyd and Hanks are, well, they might be the same person. Oh, Kolchak the Night Stalker. I just loved that show. You can find it on YouTube. And it's still scary and it's still good. I keep forgetting the actor's name, but I'll see him on, because he was a character actor. I'll see him in other shows. And I go, oh, there's Kolchak. Yeah, well, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Blues Brothers. John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. That was good. And so was the music. I love the scene with, oh, come on. The name just left my head as I was about to say it. You know, Georgia on My Mind and Ray Charles as a blind storekeeper. I guess it's a pawn shop, actually. And they're, they have to go there to buy their musical instruments. It's a great scene. Yeah, you guys love the Blues Brothers too. Jerry Cthulhu was an extra in the Blues Brothers? The mall scene when he was young. I don't remember Jerry Cthulhu. Can't place him. Of course, I'm terrible at names, as you can probably tell. Oh, Aretha Franklin, yeah. She was one of the greats. Okay. Nox Mente. Oh, Henry Gibson. You're kidding. Leader of the Illinois Nazis? We had Illinois Nazis? Or was that in a movie? Ah. Isn't it interesting that so many of the same people watch Walter Bosley digging into the strange elements of not so well known historical events, and Robert Phoenix, who does astrology? Maybe that's. Let me see. Oh, YouTube chat automatically holds any post that mentions Nazis, so I guess you better avoid that word. Oh, in the movie, The Blues Brothers. Is that who they were fighting with? I didn't get it. I'll have to watch it again. I was on Jerry's show, The Obelisk. Oh, when? I've done a lot of shows, by the way. I rarely say no. Oh, they changed the name. Okay. Yeah, I remember The Obelisk now. 2 years ago. Oh, in the dark ages. I even did Coast to Coast once, but it was with Jimmy Church. I love his voice. Jimmy Church has a voice that makes women swoon, but as Art Bell used to say, he has a face made for radio. Oh, I miss Art Bell too. I just don't like George Norrie. I'm going to be on some show tomorrow on a Zoom call, but I think it's pre-recorded. They haven't given me a link to promote. But it's with Zach. I forgot the last name. Zach. Zach. I know 2 Zachs, and I think no, he's not that one, so he's the other one. I forget. Bill Shatner's hair. I don't know, Oswald. I know Jimmy Church drinks a lot of coffee, and he plays a mean guitar. But now, see, I don't play the guitar. I know a few chords and I can strum it, but I don't really play the guitar. Jimmy Church plays the guitar. Oh, Angus plays guitar. Well, I had the same problem with guitars as I did with violin. I struggled in the junior high orchestra to keep hold of the last seat in second violins. My fingers are not strong enough. And the good violin players use the little pinky finger a lot. I can't push the string hard enough with that finger. Oh wow. Angus played metal in metal bands on Sunset Strip as a teenager. Wow. Yeah, the internet it just seems to be yeah. Ah. And Oswald played traditional Irish guitar. Well, I knew a classical guitarist named Jonathan Taylor. Back around 1980. He loved to sing, but he had to use a fake name when he sang in our college productions because it might tarnish his career as a classical guitarist, singing pop songs and rock and roll. But he did a really good lead as, oh, their hit song was Sherry, with the real high falsetto. Sherry, can you come out tonight? What was that group? Somebody and the Somethings. God, I can't remember the names of the people he was impersonating. You'd watch Letterman in the kibitz room after a gig, or you'd read a Philip K. Dick novel, or Elmore Leonard. Oh, at Carter's. Okay. Um, Four Seasons, Frankie Valli sang Sherry. This guy was really great. No, not Benny and the Jets. That's Elton John. It was Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I think it was the Four Seasons. I know it was Frankie Valli. I guess my age is showing. Jazz is deader than punk? Luckily, I like jazz. Not necessarily the New Orleans jazz, although that's good, but the jazz of like Chicago and Boston and New York really gets to me. Even if it's just some guy in the subway with a saxophone. Frankie Valli was in Greece? Oh, I never saw Greece. Jazz fusion, now that's something. Angus mentioned jazz fusion. Oh, his parents knew Dr. John. New Orleans Jazz Blues. Crashed on their couch, huh? Small world. Oh, now, Oswald, Herbie Hancock and Bill Evans were great, but there are others. Phil liked Charlie Bird Parker. Bird in quotes. They called him the Bird. I'm trying to think of a jazz great. I can't think of one right now. Although Ray Charles was kind of jazzy, at least in some of his songs. Charlie Parker and Coltrane pretty much invented jazz, Oswald says. John Coltrane. Glenn Miller? I don't know. I don't think of Glenn Miller as jazz, but could be. Miles Davis, definitely. And of course, Louis Armstrong. Satchmo. But there are some unknowns who just either do it for fun or maybe play at a bar who are really good. But they have day jobs because they can't make a living with their music. It's sad that we don't do more to support artists, real artists. Yeah, man, music is just amazing. They always said it had power to soothe the savage breast. It can also ignite anger, but um, it can energize people and inspire people. Well, Oswald, we have lots of great artists who are just not famous. Yeah, I'm really upset at people who say slurs against any group, whether it's Jews or blacks or Mexicans or any kind of Latino or anything. It's ridiculous. We're all people. We're all human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens. We need to unite, not divide. I mean, assholes are assholes, regardless of their nationality, the color of their skin, their religion, their politics. Assholes are assholes, and nice people are nice people. Okay, another one's held for review. Um, okay, I'll show it, but I won't read it, Angus. I don't know what YouTube considers bad, but I understand it's well meant. Yeah, Kanye West has problems, and his remark has lost him a great deal of money, credibility, and instead of being famous, he's now infamous. Oh, Herb Alpert. He was a great one. Yeah. I love the Tijuana Taxi and the Lonely Bull. What is my phone trying to tell me? I don't care. Oh, wait a minute. I just got a donation to GoFundMe to help with my heating bill. And it's from someone I know. That's cute, Oswald, but once again, I'm not reading it. It might be taken wrong. Wow. No. You know, most of the people I know don't know what my views are on religion and politics, and I don't know what their views are. We just don't talk about it. We talk about the important things in daily life, like how is your child doing in school? Can you afford food to put on the table? How are the road conditions? I have to go down the hill, in other words, off the mountain. Stuff like that. Or I found a lost dog. Here's his photo on Facebook. Whose is it? Come get your dog. That kind of thing. Oh, Tora gave up my recliner chair. I can have it back now. I've been on for an hour and 40. It would have been 2 hours if I had started on time at 8. But the community meeting was important. The fire department and the highway patrol and the sheriffs all talked about safety and stuff. And the school board rep was talking about the teacher shortage. Many people have moved to these mountains recently because our home prices are so much lower than places like Los Angeles. So we have many more students in our schools and not enough teachers. They actually have at least one substitute teacher who is there every day at each of our schools because there's always one classroom that needs a substitute. And at the very least, a substitute can patrol the playground, keep the children safe during recess. For the longest time, we had a shortage of school bus drivers. We still have a shortage of transit bus drivers for, people going to from town to town, maybe up to the hospital or over to the grocery store. I um, I think our bus system is being converted to electric buses too. I wonder how long it takes for an electric bus to charge. I mean, if you have an electric car, it can take 2 hours or more to charge it. You can't go anywhere while it's charging. I hope the buses don't have that problem. Anyway, we live in interesting times, and that isn't really an ancient Chinese curse. That's an urban myth or something like that. But yeah, it is a curse to live in interesting times. I hope that the midterm elections go well and without any glitches or anything. And I hope that whoever gets elected does a good job. Angus wants to live in bland times. I agree. Oh, an ancient Irish blessing, may you live to see the end of the world. Well, no matter what we do, this planet will be here long after we're all gone. It might not be the same as it is now, but it'll be here. Of course, where is here? It's always moving, doesn't stay in the same place. Tora, please don't bug me. All right, you're going to have to say hi to your adoring fans if you want treats. Come on, say hello. She's pestering me for treats. She pokes at my leg with her paw. At least she has learned not to use claws unless she's can't get my attention otherwise. Say hi. No, I don't want to. Oh gosh, that's an unhappy kitty. Okay, I got treats for you. Hop down. She's getting so heavy. Where are you? She ran to the other side, so I'd have to look for her. Little pest. Cat treats. Just go hang out at your local super mall or airport? Well, no thank you. She's Tora, Angus. Japanese for little tiger. I know it sounds the same as the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, but it isn't. She's my little tiger kitty. She's an attack cat. She chased off a burglar. She charged the door and slammed against it, and the guy got scared and took off. Oh dear. At bland times, Angus says, people will sit in an indoor stadium, eat meatloaf TV dinners, and watch people work in cubicles. And Oswald says, with a smooth jazz soundtrack, I hope. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, Kenny G, yeah. Kenny G caused many young people to take up the clarinet. Smooth adult contemporary sounds. Well, Kenny G was making really beautiful, soothing music, but I don't know, too smooth, I think. Not jazzy enough. He invented Starbucks Frappuccino? Did not know that. Once in a while, not at Starbucks, at the grocery store, I'll get a bottle of vanilla Frappuccino. But it's so sweet. Whew! I usually drink half of it, and when I get home, I use it in my coffee. I make a cup of actual coffee and just pour maybe an ounce of the Frappuccino into it. Hmm. Okay. Oh, Kenny G could be a Philip K. Dick villain. Kenny Gangster, maybe. Oh, Phil would have been just terribly upset with the events of the past few years. Um, we're kind of heading into something like his novel, The Penultimate Truth. You really must read it. It is one of his lesser known works, but it's really good. Well written, I think. Unlike some of his works that he dashed out because he needed the money, this one, based on his short story, The Defenders, it's really, really an awesome read. Angus has read The Penultimate Truth. Read it again and see how much of it is actually happening. By the way, I don't get any money for any of Phil's works. Oh, the Simulacra, yeah. That one is kind of, at least metaphorically, true. He was not trying to predict the future. In a way, his novels, even though they're science fiction, his writing was realism. Those things were real to him. Oh dear. I don't know that much about Steve Bannon. The Abraham Lincoln Apartment Building's mandatory meetings. Never buy a condo in that has what do you call that thing? Where there's a board that makes all these rules for people in a condominium complex. Homeowners Association. Yeah, don't buy a house or a condo that has a homeowners association. Thank you, Angus. Even if the rules that seem fine when you sign up and buy your home, the board can change the rules and you still have to obey them. And the least little thing will get you fined. And if you don't pay the fine right away, their lawyers will step in and add thousands of dollars to it for their attorney fees. I gotta get more water. Be right back. Ah, ah. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Oh Lord. It isn't just that I needed water. Walking around helps my poor back. It doesn't like sitting for that long. Oh, they can disallow pets. Yeah, I listened to Steve Leto on YouTube. Leto's Law. He's a lawyer who just goes over news stories about strange cases. A man with a service dog was allowed in a place where the homeowners association did not allow pets, but they claim uh, the leash he had his dog on wasn't short enough, and they fined him. And there was all kinds of stuff going on, but it went to trial, and the jury ruled for the guy with the dog to recover not only his costs, but also punitive damages. Angus watches Steve Leto. It's Lehto for those who are on the replay. Steve Leto. He's covered all kinds of interesting cases. He's amazing. There's a weird case he covered. A retired couple in it's either Australia or I think it's Australia, might be New Zealand. They bought two houses. The two houses are next door to each other. And they've fixed up one of the two houses to sell it. But the sale was about to go through when a problem arose. The lots have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. But for some reason, those two houses have the wrong lot numbers. So the deed says that the house is on lot 3, but it's really on lot 4. So they can't sell it, and the city government can't figure out how to fix that. So they have two houses, one they live in, one they want to sell, but they're both on reversed lots. They have lots 3 and 4, but the houses which have deeds, the deeds for selling the house says it's on lot 4, but the original records say it's on lot 3. And until that's cleared up, they can't sell the house that they fixed up in order to sell it. And they're retired. They need the money. Real estate agents. Well, it wasn't the real estate agents this time. It was the original company that built the houses misnumbered the lots. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, this development goes 1, 2, 4, 3 on the map, the plat map. But the deed for lot 3 says the house is on lot 4, and the deed for lot 4 says the house is on lot 3, because the deeds were done in order 1, 2, 3, 4, but the plat map is 1, 2, 4, 3. I think the city government should just allow somebody to file an amendment and be done with it. Psychopathocracy. It was the original developer, though, that misnumbered the plat map. Weirdness. Oh well. I hope nothing like that happens to me. Of course, when I bought this house, among the various papers I was given, there was a plat map. I don't know why I wanted to say plot. Plat map. There was a deed and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, that's interesting. Now I really have been on for 2 hours. I don't know. I hope everything goes smoothly with the November 8 election. No drama. Now I get hiccups. I hope that Paul Pelosi recovers completely. And that the other guy gets some help with his mental problems. He's facing basically life in prison for what he did. He happens to be an illegal alien from Canada. He overstayed his visa many years ago, and he's still here. They say he's homeless, but then they say he lives in an old bus. One of the reports showed the house he lives in, so I'm confused. I have no clue what's going on there. Maybe he's staying with friends because he doesn't have a home. I don't know. But, man, what he did was just horrible and shouldn't happen to anybody. I'm kind of stuck in California. I was born and raised here, never managed to escape. And the last of my remaining family is in California, except my granddaughter who's in Phoenix. Oh well. Man. Anyway, I suppose that rather than run away, we should stay in California and try to fix it. It does have problems. And politics is ridiculous. Too much. I don't know what to call it. I guess, vitriol from all sides in politics. Ah, Angus, born in Encino, raised in Santa Monica and West Los Angeles. Well, I was born in Culver City, but after the Watts riot, we moved to Anaheim, down in Orange County. I was in. Hi, Lunar Sparkles. I'm been on for 2 hours. I'm getting ready to sign off, but I'm glad you're here. I was born in Culver City at Culver General Hospital. Then an actor died there, and I cannot remember his name. He was famous. So they named the hospital after him. And then they named it Brotman after the surgeon who did the surgery on the actor who died. And I think it's back to being Culver General again. Oh, you were at Chapman, Angus? I have my bachelor's and master's degrees from Chapman College before they sold out and became a university. It's all about money now. They used to focus on teaching, but most of my professors there have passed away, and not all of them were all that old. Your mom went to 12-step meetings at Brotman. Oh, 2002, it was a university by then. I taught at some of the satellite campuses, March Air Force Base mostly, but also Norton Air Force Base, and the Marine got a huge long name out in 29 Palms. MGACC, something about an air base. I also have an associate degree from Fullerton College. I had a really nice house in Orange, in Old Town Orange, for about 2 years. Then I witnessed a crime by a gang member and had to sell the house and leave leave the entire county to stop the harassment. Oh, the gang was Ku Klux Klan bikers. Lovely people. The guy got 3 years, but he was on federal probation for weapons violations. So when he'd done his 3 years, they took him to a federal prison. And by the way, the judge ordered him to leave California and never come back to the entire state of California. Last I heard, he'd been arrested in Ohio, and he wasn't ever getting out again because he had bombs in his garage. Nice guy. Oh, I was on South Cyprus, south of Palm. Chapman College had a house at the corner of Palm and Olive. So when it needed painting, some students approached the Palmolive company, who made that green soap, green hand soap, bar soap. And they got the Palmolive company to paint the house Palmolive green. It was amazing. Apparently, Chapman College has been cannibalizing nearby homes to enlarge their campus. Oh, yeah, the Old Town Circle. Old timers always told me it isn't the circle, it's the plaza. Anyway, once a year there was this street fair there. I keep forgetting what they called it, but I would go because there's good food and all kinds of fun stuff to do. Yeah, I've been to the Cuban restaurant and the Greek one. I don't like Greek olives, but the tabbouleh, the salad, is really good. I accidentally ordered vegetable soup, forgetting that it was vegetable, not vegetable beef. And I'm a carnivore. Plain vegetable soup is too bland for me, but I've since learned that all you need to do is add a little Vegemite or Marmite to the broth, and it's incredibly tasty. It's like umami. Those are made from yeast, so they're still vegetarian. Vegemite and Marmite. Oh well, they're not available around here. I would have to them online. Let's see. Oh, open faced meatloaf gravy sandwiches. Chip beef. Are you Angus? I think that was the drugstore. They had little tables out on the sidewalk. Yeah, I've been told that Vegemite and Marmite are horrible, but a little bit in the broth of a soup apparently is good, even to people who hate them otherwise. Witta likes Vegemite, you poor deluded person. Okay, some people spread it on toast and eat it. Not the drugstore? I think it was Wilkinson's Pharmacy had a real old-fashioned 50s style soda fountain. It was in that movie, That Thing You Do. They filmed part of it in the old Army Navy store and part of it in Wilkinson's Pharmacy because it was just like a 1950s soda fountain. Restaurant where you took a tray and told them what you wanted. I don't know what that was. I don't think I've ever been there. Oh, Witta puts butter on her Vegemite sandwich. Butter's good for you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, margarine, that'll kill you. But butter, that's good fat. My doctor says so. Of course, if you're overweight, I don't know. If I needed to lose weight, I still would not cut out the fats in my diet before I first cut out the carbs, sugar and crackers and so forth, and cookies. Saccharin is horrible. Yeah, well, it doesn't taste as bad as some of the new ones. NutraSweet, I can't stand the taste. I mean, I didn't like saccharin, but I absolutely hate the new ones. Like, what is it, sorbitol? And I can't remember the names. they're actually too sweet, and they just make my stomach hurt. I get nausea. Xylitol, that's it. XYT. Yeah, XYL. Xylitol. Hate it. I can tolerate stevia, but I'm not a fan. At least it's natural, not a chemical from a lab. It's from a plant. It really, I don't have as much of a sweet tooth as I used to anyway. So I can put a little sugar in my cup of coffee. That's not going to kill me. See, Rumsfeld made a lot of his fortune besides what he inherited from his time as CEO of Searle. And he got the FDA to approve NutraSweet and made $300 million. Okay. I wish they would bring back cyclamates. They came out in the 60s and then they were banned because rats got cancer. When actually cyclamates were less problematic than saccharin. But saccharin had been grandfathered in. We'd been using it for so long before there even was an FDA. Kellogg's cereal. Kellogg's family were Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah. Well, Kellogg's, or was it Post? Who makes grape nuts? Grape nuts were developed by a doctor who thought they'd be healthy. Served them to patients at their sanitarium. Now the wind has picked up and it's raining again. Tora doesn't like the um, noise. Post or General Mills. I like grape nuts. I'm pretty sure Kellogg's was originally a health food developed by a doctor. Of course, they were not loaded up with sugar like Cocoa Pebbles and Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch. But I've been told, and it seems to be true, that a pre-sweetened cereal has less sugar than you would add if it were not sweetened. Oh, Lunar's raccoons were sleeping on the porch after snacks. My stupid raccoons. Well, they aren't mine. They just live here. Broke into some storage that I had left outside under tarps and ripped open a bag of lentils. They didn't eat any. They agree with me, lentils are not food. They're not edible. Neither is kale. Okay. Wita, I had to approve your post. Yeah, anyway, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes now, and it's past my bedtime too. But I've really enjoyed chatting and kind of rambling around. We got to do this more often, assuming Verizon will let me. I'm glad you dropped in before I was completely gone, Lunar Sparkles. Yeah, I finally got a good connection from Evil Verizon. Okay, it really is time to sign off, so I'll do the usual. Thank you all for listening. Wow. And have a great day. You too, Oswald. It's been real. Okay. Good night, all. Sweet dreams.